Every time I blink, it comes closer. I didn't believe it at first. I thought I was just tired, stressed, hallucinating from the lack of sleep that has been choking me for weeks. But I know now that what I'm seeing is real. And I know because it doesn't stop. It never stops. It only waits for my eyes to close. It started 4 nights ago. I was sitting in my room, the warm yellow light of my lamp flickering because the bulb is older than I am. The shadows on my walls stretched and shrank in slow waves like something breathing. I remember blinking, just blinking, and when my eyes opened, I felt something wrong behind me. You know that feeling, the one where your heart drops and your spine freezes like someone just pressed a knife to it? That one. I looked toward the mirror on my wall. At first, I thought my reflection looked strange because of the bad lighting, but then I realized it wasn't my reflection. It was something behind me, standing far away, deep in the darkness of the room behind mine, in a place where no one should be. A shape, a figure, completely still, completely silent, watching. I didn't blink for an entire minute. My eyes burned, tears formed, my throat tightened, my chest trembled. I tried to convince myself it was just a shadow, a coat, a trick of the light, anything except what it truly was. But then, without meaning to, I blinked. It moved, closer, not by much, but enough. Enough for me to feel the ice run through my blood. Enough for me to know that it was not my imagination. Enough to understand that I should not blink again. I forced myself to stare. Why? Died terrified, barely breathing. My heart throbbed violently, pumping fear through every inch of me. I didn't dare move a muscle. I didn't dare look away. I couldn't even scream because if I opened my mouth, I feared I would blink. But your body betrays you eventually. It always does. My eyes dried, my vision blurred, and I blinked. It stood in the doorway now. I fell out of my chair, scrambling backward, my heels dragging on the carpet as I tried to push myself into the wall. Tears flooded my vision, making it impossible to see clearly. Each drop that fell threatened another blink. Another blink meant it would move again. So I wiped my eyes with shaking hands, forcing them open, stretching them wide enough to hurt. The thing, the figure, whatever it was, did not move unless I blinked. It didn't breathe, it didn't sway. It was carved from darkness, its outline barely human, no face, no features, only a shape of what could have once been a person. I stayed awake all night, sitting against my wall, my eyes fixed on it. It stayed in the doorway. It waited. It didn't grow bored. It didn't grow tired. It didn't go away. The sun saved me. When morning light entered my room, the figure was gone. I slept for 10 straight hours, exhausted beyond comprehension. When I finally woke, I convinced myself it was a dream. The mind plays tricks in the dark, I told myself. Shadows change, fear exaggerates. The brain invents threats when it's desperate for rest. But the next night it returned, and this time it was closer from the start. I blinked once at my phone screen. It appeared in the corner of my room. I blinked again out of shock. It appeared halfway between the corner and my bed. I slapped both hands over my eyes, panicking. But then I realized that when I removed my hands, I would be blinking again. And it would be closer. And if it ever reached me, if it ever got close enough to touch me, something inside me knew I wouldn't survive it. I wouldn't remain myself. Something terrible would happen. I slowly lowered my hands, fighting to keep my eyelids raised. It stood right beside my bed. I screamed, not a muffled scream, a raw, ugly, desperate scream that tore out of my throat. I jumped off the bed, grabbed my lamp like a weapon, holding it in front of me, swinging the light around the room. But the lamp didn't help. The thing didn't cast a shadow, didn't change shape, didn't react. All it did was wait, waiting for me to blink again. That night was worse than the first. My eyes felt sliced open, aching, trembling. My mouth dried to sandpaper. My body collapsed more than once, but every time I felt myself falling asleep, my head jerked violently because if I slept, I would dream, and dreaming meant blinking, and blinking meant death. By sunrise I was barely functioning. My eyes burned like they were on fire. My vision pulsed. Every shadow looked like it was about to move. Every time I briefly closed my eyes to wipe the tears, I opened them in terror, expecting it to be inches from my face. When the sun eventually rose, the figure disappeared again. But it wasn't a relief. It was dread. because I knew what awaited me that night, and the next and the next. The worst part, it was learning. Last night, when it appeared, it wasn't silent anymore. It whispered. The whisper didn't come from its shape. It came from everywhere. Inside the walls, under the bed, behind my teeth. Just blink. Just blink. The voice was cold, stretched like something speaking through torn lips. It repeated the same words over and over, making my mind feel like it was unraveling. My eyes trembled, my will weakened, my body begged for sleep, but I didn't blink. I couldn't, because the figure was inches from my face, leaning forward like it was studying me. Featureless face turned toward mine. At some point, during the darkest hour of the night, when my strength was gone, when my eyes twitched painfully, I couldn't hold them open anymore. I blinked once and everything went black. I woke up this morning on the floor, sun shining softly through my window, my eyes swollen, my body shaking uncontrollably. I don't know how long I slept. I don't know how I survived. But when I checked the mirror, my heart stopped. There were fingerprints on my neck. Shadow, black, smudged, burned into my skin like someone had grabbed me with hands made of smoke. I didn't dream it. I didn't imagine it. It touched me. It reached me, and tonight is coming. I can already feel my eyelids growing heavy, like something is weighing them down from the inside. My lamp flickers even though I replace the bulb. The shadows on the walls stretch in unnatural shapes. And when I close my eyes for even a second to wipe away tears, I feel breath on my face. I don't know how much longer I can stay awake. My vision is doubling. My heartbeat is weak and slow. I don't know what will happen when I finally lose the fight and drift into sleep. But I know one thing. Every time I blink, it comes closer. And one day, maybe tonight, it won't stop at just touching me. It will take me somewhere I cannot return from. My eyes are burning again. I can't keep them open. If this is my last moment, if anyone finds this, don't blink. It's right in front of